The tradition of the old venue at Belfast, but this is brand new and a new day for the Balmoral show. It's on the old Longkesh maze site. In fact, some of the rubble from the old buildings of the prison has been used in the roads and the pathways here at the Balmoral show. For some, this is a symbol of how our past can be absorbed into our present and our future. But for the RUAS, the organisers of this agricultural and food show, this is a project that has been talked about for decades and has finally come to fruition. To mark its first day, there was a royal visitor. Prince Edward was escorted with the police through the front gate this morning. But as Mervyn Jess reports, not everyone had a clear run into the show.
It was first day gridlock on the country roads leading to the Balmoral show this morning. As you can see on the main approach roads to the maze site, there is obvious traffic build-up, something which was expected, but the traffic is moving, if slowly.
Well, I thought it would be busy. It was going to be hard getting everybody off the road, but what can you do? It's first time. Iron out the problems as you go along, eh?
You're prepared to take a little bit of pain here to get in?
Yeah. Well, he's going to be demonstrating basket making, so we have to get in.
One person who had no problem getting through was the royal visitor, Prince Edward.
So you're settling into the new place now?
Yes, we're settling in.
The Royal Ulster Agricultural Society patron was effectively giving the new site the royal seal of approval.
Royal Highness, what do you think of the new site? Very good. I haven't seen all of it yet. Well, so far so good.
Traces of the old maze prison are still there, and the historical significance of the site wasn't lost on the First Minister.
The base upon which all of this was constructed is the rubble of the H-blocks, and I think that indicates something of the transformation that we've had in Northern Ireland. We're in a new era. People want to move forward. There'll always be people who want to drag us back, but overwhelmingly, you can see by the people that are around us here, people want to see Northern Ireland with a bright future.
The layout is a lot different from the King's Hall location in Belfast, with visitors and exhibitors remarking on the extra space.
Probably a better site, or site of a fair now, you know. Apart from the traffic getting in, other than that now, it's not too bad now, so it's not.
Some of those competing for the coveted rosettes threatened to get a bit out of hand. Others took it in their stride. Meet Arnie, 1¼ tons of bull. He came third, but he'll be back. Traditionally, the show has been about the town meeting the country. Today, the narrow country roads were proving a bit of an obstacle in realising that objective. Mervyn Jess, BBC Newsline, at the maze.
Months of unpredictable weather, wetter than normal. It really has been a disaster. They can't get the animals into waterlogged fields, and the feed has not just doubled, but in some cases trebled in price. Gordon Adair reports now on how tough it's been on the farm.
This silo should have plenty of feed in it. In fact, it and all the others on this farm are just about exhausted.
We've had a long, hard, difficult winter. We needed an early spring, and unfortunately we certainly haven't got an early spring.
And all these empty silos mean farmers everywhere are having to buy extra feed that last year fetched perhaps £25 a tonne. This year, anything from £50 to £70 a tonne.
There's just no surplus of cash on farms. Cash is a problem, and to go out and purchase extra feed over and above what you normally require is a problem for a lot of businesses. And when farmers go back to banks to ask for more cover to purchase feed, it certainly leads to difficult conversations.
Right now, cows like these should be grazing outside, but with no let-up in the weather, and there's still no sign of that.
General public don't realise how serious this is at the moment, because for the general public, they look out, they see lovely green fields, and it's May, therefore things should be okay, but actually things are pretty serious out on farm at the moment.
For a growing number of farmers, things are reaching crisis point, and they're crying out for help.
Townies just think that it is farmers griping about nothing, but it definitely is a difficult time. I mean, like, our helpline numbers have gone up considerably, and people who are ringing the helpline are very much in need of support, whether that be practical support or emotional support, you know, from our counsellors.
Market Hill is a town built on farming and cattle. Here, the local high school is about to become the first to introduce a GCSE in agriculture and land use.
It's important for me as a principal of a rural school to be able to give pupils the knowledge, understanding, awareness and skills that they need in order to make a major impact, not only within Northern Ireland in these industries, but on a global stage.
Tough times won't put off pupils, with farming sewn into their very DNA.
I came from a farm background and just want to keep going at it.
Farmer as well. I'd like to take over the farm when I'm older.
It's bad whenever the weather's real wet, getting cows and all.
But you're still keen to go for it?
Yeah.
I say there's a bit of despair, but I'm pretty sure there is optimism out there, willing to keep going. And
yeah, there's a determination to keep going.
Yeah.
So a positive outlook for the years ahead. But for many farmers, it's the next 3 weeks that are causing serious concern. Gordon Adair, BBC Newsline, County Armagh.
President of the Ulster Farming. In that report, a very depressing picture is painted for us, Harry. What help is out there for farmers who are finding it so tough with this weather?
Well, this afternoon we actually had an industry meeting here in Balmoral to actually look at what could be done. We're working with the department and indeed hopefully talk to the Minister tomorrow and see if we can get some form of help out to those farmers. There is a lot of problems out there, as you've heard. And indeed, a lot of people are crying out for help. We just don't know where to turn to.
Well, you need short-term solutions
yes.
and long-term solutions. So what do you think needs to be done?
Well, we have to look and see how we can get fodder onto these farms. What's available, the availability seems to be the problem here at the moment. A lot of it has already been used up. And then the long-term effects of this, which we have a wee bit more time to deal with, but the immediate effect has to be dealt with immediately.
We saw the crisis with sheep farmers there recently with the terrible wintry weather. How is the state of our local farming industry at the moment? We see agri-foods actually booming, but what about on the ground? What about the farming community?
The primary production actually has come through one of the most difficult years anyone could ever remember. We've seen a 52-53% drop in farm incomes. We've seen farmers battling against the weather conditions. It's just there is a real lack of looking to the future at the moment, that people they're trying to get over the immediate problems.
Well, in that case, would you encourage then young men and women to become farmers, to take on that tradition further?
Well, I think, we believe that once we get over this immediate problem, there is an outlook for food production. We'll see the world demand increasing, but it's just this temporary blip that we're in at the moment, and getting businesses through that is a great difficulty.
Thank you for now, Harry. I know I've met some young farmers at the show here today, and they still have the passion and enthusiasm that their fathers and mothers had before them. Join us later on the show. Angie will be here, and let's hope the farmers get a little bit better weather.
Let's hope so, Donna. Thank you. Still to come on the programme.
Flowers behind me were transplanted from County Donegal yesterday and brought all the way to the maze to give us a little bit of colourful outlook, Angie.
And we need it.
It's been a real mixed bag of weather today. How's it looking for the farmers?
I have to say it's still looking pretty disappointing within the near future anyway. But of course we've been to the Balmoral show over many years. All sorts of weather, Donna. Sometimes in the rain under the umbrellas and sometimes in the sunshine. Now today we've had a little bit of a mix of both, but never before have I been here in a winter coat. It really has been that cold. And of course it's been that prolonged cold spring which has been causing major problems for the farmers and growers. But the chill in the air today has been emphasised by the brisk northerly breeze. At least that's going to ease over the next couple of days. Still a risk of a few showers around tomorrow, but a lot of dry weather, and with lighter winds it shouldn't be feeling as cold. So back to this evening, the showers that we had today, mainly in the south and west, will they'll taper away, so it should end up drier and brighter as we end the day. The breeze will be easing too. That means that the first part of the night potentially could be quite cold, particularly in the southeast. Some rural spots down to 2 or 3 degrees, giving the odd pocket of ground frost, but really only briefly, because that'll lift as cloud increases through the night. It'll also bring spells of rain into the west. So for tomorrow, well, it's a cloudier day coming up. Rain for some of us as well. I think we'll find the bulk of that rain during the morning time. Still most of it, I think, in the west and towards the north. The east may see some too, but it's likely to be patchier here. Now, if we come into the west in the afternoon, Still some rain around, but it's thinning out. It too becomes patchy, and the rain towards the east eventually eases away. And we might even see a little bit of brightness trying to come through, particularly for Down and Antrim. The noticeable thing tomorrow will be the winds, much lighter, generally from the south, so it shouldn't feel as cold. The temperatures, although fairly similar, at 10 to 12 degrees. So for the Northwest 200, practice session tomorrow morning, a bit damp and drizzly, better in the evening for the races, and not a bad day on Friday, but make the most of it. It could be wetter as we head into the weekend, and there's still no proper sign of any warmth for the farmers.
Keep that coat on. Well, thankfully we have a bit of sunshine to end the show here at the Balmoral show. Back now to Tara in Belfast.
Donna, thank you. From everyone on the team, have a good night. Bye-bye.